Hi to one and all. This is Santosh Reddy. I'm an assistant professor in Department of ECE from Chebol Engineering College. Today, my topic is about VHDL design flow and identifiers in digital IC applications. VHDL design flow. For designing a system using VHDL, there are some basic steps are there. The sequence of these steps are called design flow. For designing a system, a sequence of basic steps are there. These steps are called VHDL design flow. So coming to block diagram, nothing but circuit diagram, VHDL design flow circuit diagram, there are two types of process are there. Front end steps, back end steps. For constructing an IC, those two are required. If you will take front end process, we know the circuit diagram or we have the circuit diagram. By using the components, we will construct the circuit diagram, and after that circuit diagram, we will go for the compilation. If there are any syntax errors, it will return back to the block diagram and we will modify it. The block diagram automatically generates the coding. Automatically it generates the coding, and from the coding the simulation takes place. Simulation is nothing but the waveforms generation or timing verification in front end steps. The example for the front end steps is nothing but multisim software. In that multisim software, we will construct the circuit with all the components and we will generate the simulation. Whereas in VHDL, we don't know about the circuit, we have only the code. By using that synthesizer tool, we will write the code and we will compile it. After compilation, the synthesizer tool converts into equivalent circuit. What we have given the code, that will be converted into the equivalent circuit in fitting session. After that, it will go for the timing verification, means nothing but waveform generation. These front end process and back end process are main important in the design flow. So here, as shown in the above figure, the first four blocks are called front end process and the remaining steps are called back end process, as I have been explained. So I will explain each block by block. First of all, coding, compilation, simulation, synthesis, fitting, or it may be called as placing or routing, and timing verification. Coming to coding, the block diagram which we will construct or which will give the components and construct the circuit diagram, it includes the writing of VHDL code. Means with that block diagram, it generates the VHDL code. For writing the HDL code, we will use the software called Xilinx. For Xilinx, there are some specifications. The HDL keywords are highlighted easily. Nothing but it will highlight, and it have high built-in temperature for frequency used program structure. By high temperature, by using for frequency used program structures, and also it is built-in syntax checking. Nothing but compiler can be accessed using single click. By using the compiler, we can generate the syntax, we can modify the syntax errors, and it will display the syntax as what we have, and we can modify it. Compilation is nothing but the syntax errors are detected. The code is for compatibility for the other modules. Nothing but after generating the code, we will compile it and it will generate the other modules. If there are any syntax error, means it will go back to the synthesis, means synthesizer tool or code. So coming to simulation is nothing but it a part of verification. The purpose of simulation is to verify the circuit works as it is desired in path or not. Nothing but if we have given a 3 input NAND gate, while we are checking in simulation, is it is in that in the input NAND gate or not, means the desired path, which we have given the desired path. It describes the behavior of the circuit in terms of input signal and output signals. Nothing but it generates the input signals and output signals, and it describes the behavior of that circuit. The operation of digital circuit can be verified fastly and accurately using logic simulation. These digital circuits operation can be verified fastly in simulation, this simulation tool. We have two types of verification techniques. Those are functional simulation and timing simulation. Functional simulation is nothing but when all functions of the circuit are verified, then it is referred as functional simulation. And timing simulation is nothing but when there is an involvement in timing behavior of the circuit, then it is referred as timing simulation. In timing simulation, an estimated delay is included. That's why it is known as timing simulation. Synthesis. Synthesis is nothing but it is a task of designing the digital system. Synthesis tool is converted into the equivalent circuit. It implements the desired functional behavior, or also it is a process of designing or generating the logic diagram from truth table. Nothing but it will generate the logic diagram, it will generate the truth table. For performing this process, automatically CAD tools are available for HDL program. Nothing but inbuilt CAD tools will help for the HDL program as an input to synthesize the compiler. When HDL code passed through initial synthesis tool, a lower level of description circuit generates the output. Nothing but initial synthesis, when we have given the initial synthesis from the HDL code, it will generate the output that is explained in the synthesis. Now coming to fitting, or it may be called as placing or routing. This is nothing but it is a device that map to synthesize components. Nothing but it will route the components from the synthesis tool. Means nothing but it gives input and output components at the resources by routing the signals. And coming to timing verification, it is the last step of HDL based design flow. In this step, we actually see in the output. It generates the output and we actually see the output. In this, the circuits delay based on the violence, electrical loads and other factors. Maybe circuits delay based on the violence or electrical loads. These can be calculated with the reasonable precision. Coming to identifiers. Identifiers are nothing but it describes or defines the words and name of objects, procedures, functions and designed entities. These are also called as reserved words in VHDL. There are two types of identifiers are there. One is a basic identifier and another one is the extended identifier. Coming to basic identifiers. The basic identifiers are used for naming of all named entities in VHDL. They can be of any length, written in one line of code. Nothing but any length that can be written in one line of code in VHDL. And also basic identifiers have some rules. Those are explained below. Rules for the basic identifiers. It should contain only alphanumeric characters. Either we can write capital letters or small letters or 0 to 9 numbers, and we can write in underscore character in between the letters, and the first character must be a letter and last one cannot be underscore. When we are writing the basic identifier, the first character should be a letter and the last character cannot be underscore. Means nothing but last that cannot be underscore. Identifier cannot include two conjugative underscores. Means when we are writing a code, two conjugative identifiers cannot be included. And also identifier is a case sensitive. As we discussed above, it should be written in capital letters or small letters. And also identifier can be of any length. So as we seen below example, it may be in capital letters or after that get underscore design. The underscore should not be at the starting and should not be at the ending. Coming to extended identifiers. The extended identifiers are based between the two backslash characters. It will represent the two backslash characters, and they maintain the graphic character as well as reserved words. In between those two backslash characters, they represents the reserved words or graphic character. If the backslash has been used one of graphic character of an extended letter, it must be double. Nothing but if we use a graphic character, then it will be doubled. There are some rules for the extended identifiers also. Rules for the extended identifiers. As we discussed above, extended identifier is enclosed by the backslash character. It is also case sensitive as basic identifiers. Any of the following character can be used, including like @ symbols and dollar symbols, etc. An extended identifier is differed from the keywords of any basic identifier. Means the basic identifier is completely different and extended identifier is completely different in some keywords. As example, we have seen test in between the two backslash. Like this, we can written the extended identifiers. We can write the extended identifiers. In next session, I'm going to explain the programming structure and the basics of programs. Thank you for watching.